This episode of Techno Buffalo is brought to you by Netflix and candy. Delicious, delicious candy. Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Buffalo. I'm your host, John Rettinger, where you can ask me anything you want from the world of technology. We can talk cell phones, we can talk tablets, laptops, TVs. You can ask me personal questions, why I don't shave, why my face is always shiny. Whatever you want, it's all fair game. If you want to ask me any of those questions, you can do it one of two ways. First, every Tuesday on technobuffalo.com, we put up a post asking for questions to feature in Ask the Buffalo. Go ahead and leave your questions down below there. Or if you're feeling a little lazier and you want to ask questions from the comfort of your couch, you can always do it on Twitter using hashtag AskTheBee. On this episode of Techno Buffalo, we're going to talk cell phones. We're going to talk my new surroundings. We're going to get a bit philosophical about technology, and we're of course going to talk about Apple and Android. So let's go ahead and get started with another episode of Ask the Buffalo. Our first question comes from the website user Drew, who asked, John, if Mango is what it's supposed to be, will you consider using it as your daily driver? I'm a big fan of Windows Phone 7. In fact, I've been a big fan of Windows Phone 7 ever since Microsoft first announced it. I think it's a solid operating system with a lot of great potential. And a lot of that great potential is now finally realized with the now just rolling out Mango update. Samsung Focus right here, Mango, can be run on it. Ton of new features on there, including multitasking, this cool tombstoning is what they've called it. Essentially freezes an application, go ahead and go back and forth. Unified inbox, finally. Support for front-facing cameras and all the awesome things that you thought that Windows Phone 7 needed, it's now gonna have. I think that if you're looking to get a new smartphone and you're looking at the obvious contenders, Android or the iPhone, you owe it to yourself to look at Windows Phone 7. It really might surprise you. I think that Microsoft has probably one of the best native on-screen keyboards. I'm not that big into Swipe. I know a lot of you guys love Swipe. But for my money, the best virtual keyboard definitely belongs to Windows Phone 7. So check it out. I'm a huge fan. So the answer to your question, Drew, yes, I think that Mango definitely deserves to be looked at. All right, so our next question goes to Twitter and comes from user Edric386, who asks, at John4Lakers, which is my personal handle if you want to use that as well, how will the future of technology shape the world? I think the future of technology is already beginning to shape the world. You can look at how the internet plays a role in most people's everyday lives. You know, those people, speaking mostly about the US, since that's where I live and that's what I know, shapes our lives quite a bit. First, look at email. You know, we've seen regular mail go down in prominence and down in importance. You can email now. You know, as opposed to having to pick up a phone and call someone, you can say what you will about personal interaction, FaceTime in the decline. Certainly true. But email has certainly changed the way that we do business. It's changed the way we shape the world. You look at now cell phones. Cell phones became, these giant, huge boxes, and then they became something this big that Zach Morris carried. And now there's something, that big and that thin that can do just about everything and really change the way not only we make phone calls, but how we consume media, how we interact with friends, how we do a lot of things. Technology is definitely making us a bit more antisocial as well. I know technology certainly influenced me personally. I remember not having the internet. I remember my family first got Prodigy. Before AOL, those two were competing, and you had to use the dial-up modem and went key, and finally connected. And able to get email was awesome. I remember going into, first time I saw chat rooms, I was able to talk about sports, nothing dirty, because I know what your comments are gonna be saying. You're pervs. You're all a bunch of pervs. The first time, I was able to use instant messaging and all that stuff. It was really cool. So for me, the biggest thing that's changed my life has obviously been the internet. I know that's a big, huge answer, but what is it for you? All right, so as soon as I turn behind me, let's talk about this new setup. It actually leads me to our next question, which comes from the website user Lee, who asks, John, could you please do a video tour of your next office? Well, Lee, a video tour of our new office is coming. For those of you that follow us, check out the website. We've moved into a new office space in a building, a real office, which is kind of awesome, with desks, and monitors and all kinds of stuff. So that will be coming. That's a question I've been getting quite a bit recently. You can see little snippets of it in certain videos, but eventually we'll show you guys the whole thing as soon as it's all ready. All right, so speaking of already and awesome transitions, I want to take a minute to thank our friends and sponsors at Netflix. With over 23 million members, Netflix is the world's largest subscription service, instantly streaming TV episodes and movies. You know what Netflix is, you've heard the name, you know what it does. Members can instantly watch thousands of titles on a vast array of devices, streaming TV episodes and movies on devices like Microsoft's Xbox 360, Sony's PS3, and Nintendo Wii. As a Netflix Unlimited member, you can instantly watch as many movies as you want, anytime you want, for one low monthly price! Exclamation point! There are no late fees or due dates. For a limited time as a new member and a Techno Buffalo viewer, you can get a free 30-day trial membership. Go to netflix.com/buffalo and sign up now. If you're not using Netflix, you probably should give it a shot. It's an awesome way to catch up on all your latest episodes. I just finished watching Breaking Bad on there, which is a pretty great show. Mad Men is now on there, so all the shows you've been wanting to watch, you forgot to watch, Netflix is a great way to do it. If you like TVs and movies and you want to show your support for us, help us out and get free 30 days, which is kind of awesome. So you can go to netflix.com/buffalo and give it a shot. If you like it, awesome. If you don't, no sweat off your business, it's a free 30 days. Let's jump back to the questions. Transition. All right, this one comes from Twitter. User Sashin Bahal, I'm sorry if I massacred your last name, asks, which do you like better, Android OS or iOS, or another OS, and why? Well, that's a tough question. I can already see the fanboys get ready to do their typing, get ready to go. Well, for right now, I'm using a BlackBerry Bold 9900 as my daily driver. So for right now, the answer is neither. This is what I'm using. Why I'm using it? I like the limitations of BlackBerry. I know that sounds weird. I like that it's good at email. I like that it's got an awesome physical keyboard to type on. It's not really that good at much else. So I'm not distracted with apps, not distracted with games and all that stuff that used to take time from my life. It does email, it does phone calls, and it does all that very well. The browser's okay. I can use it when I need. App support, not very good. App World is not as robust as the other operating systems, infrastructures that you mentioned, or ecosystems rather that you mentioned. But when it comes down to Android or iOS, depends on the week for me. So I review a lot of cell phones. I have the distinct honor to be able to check out all the latest and greatest cell phones that are coming out. So as my daily driver, you know, generally it's an iPhone. At least it was before I started using the BlackBerry Bold 9900. However, with all the new Android phones coming out, generally you'll find an Android phone in my pocket that I'm testing, and the iPhone just wasting away in a drawer. So thank you guys for watching. I am John Rettinger, and I will see you guys in the next video. For all your tech content, be sure to check out technobuffalo.com for the latest reviews, updates, rumors, exclusives, and all kinds of other goodness. Be sure to check us out. And if you want to check out Netflix, netflix.com/buffalo. I'll spin you later. Bad ending. And now I'm dizzy. Power. I use technology to do everything. Technology is my job. Probably should have put that on vibrate.